Chosen ones, where you were. Chosen ones back with another powerful and productive video. Yes, let's do our smiling exercise and then we proceed with the video. Yes, chosen people, make it a point to keep on smiling. You read the title of this video. Your self-discipline tells folks this. Let's talk about that, because nobody really talks about self-discipline. But self-discipline is key. You as a chosen one, your self-discipline really tells them that you strongly love yourself, because self-discipline is the strongest form of self-love, of self-care. Your self-discipline is forgoing or letting go of all instant gratification or temporary pleasures and going in for permanent rewards or bigger and greater and mightier rewards, rather than, you feeding on temporary pleasures. Yes, your self-discipline is you, preparing yourself and getting everything that you ever desire or want. Your self-discipline is to, live the lifestyle that you always promise yourself. That is what your self-discipline tells them. Your self-discipline tells them that, yes, a person may be Abraham, Father Abraham, in faith, may be David, King David, in praises, and a person may be Joshua in war. But if one is not having self-discipline or self-control like Joseph, then one is going to end up in destruction like Samson. Oh yes, so that is what your self-discipline tells them. Your self-discipline tells them that you really self-love yourself, self-care for yourself, that you will always choose silence over speech. You will always choose your solitude over society. You will always think before you talk, because it takes discipline to do all these things. It takes discipline to, not feed your distractions and feed your focus. It takes discipline to do that. It takes discipline to have all the sweet things, all the candies around. But you say, because I self-love myself and value myself so much, I am not taking these sweets, because these sweets will give me sickness, will give me disease. I'm not taking them. It takes self-discipline to choose your diet very carefully. It takes self-discipline to spend late nights working on your project, working on your craft, creating and becoming innovative, working on your plans. It takes self-discipline to get up early in the morning before others. The 3 a.m.s, the 4 a.m.s, the 5 a.m.s. To be working, it takes self-discipline to go the extra mile, to work more than you are being paid for. It takes self-discipline not to revenge when you are being betrayed, backbite, backstab, when you are being rejected, when you are being ignored, when you are being disappointed. It takes self-discipline to learn from such things and see it and use it as motivation, as inspiration, as fuel to grow, to become your true and authentic self, a better version of yourself. It takes self-discipline. Tell me or show me somebody who has achieved some level of greatness in life, and I will tell you that that person is a person who really self-disciplined himself. Without self-discipline, one goes nowhere. It takes self-discipline to achieve the success that one wants. It takes self-discipline for one to stay positive in a negative situation, in a negative circumstances. It takes self-discipline for one to be conscious of his or her faith in God, in pressure and in tension time. It takes self-discipline to remain steady, walk steady in this unsteady world. It takes self-discipline to keep on going with God. It takes self-discipline to keep on lifting the load with God. It takes self-discipline to be moving in unison with God. It takes self-discipline to spend midnight praying to God. It takes self-discipline to keep on meditating on the word of God. It takes self-discipline, right, to practice temporary voluntary celibacy, to keep some level of holiness, some level of purity. It takes self-discipline not to go out partying during the weekends, in the weekends. It takes self-discipline to choose sleep over going out and clubbing and partying. Yes, it takes self-discipline. And that is what your self-discipline tells them. And when you discipline yourself in all these things to achieve the greatness that you want, folks see you as you are lucky. They call you the lucky one. But we've all been presented with this same life situation, just that it has been camouflaged differently. But you and I make different decisions. Yes, we all go through similar temptations, similar trials, similar tests. But some of us, we make different decisions, and that is why we stand out tall. That is why we get what we want. But after getting what you want, folks will stand there and be hating on you. They will envy you. They will jealous you. They will be saying a whole sort of negative stuff about you. Yes, that is what folks does. Folks, that is what they do. They will jealous you and they will call you, oh, you are lucky. But they never knew that it takes self-discipline to say no to this, yes to that. It takes self-discipline. Your self-discipline is one of a kind. Your self-discipline really proves that you are indeed a child of God. Your self-discipline. It takes self-discipline to break that addiction. It takes self-discipline to break that, addiction that you've been battling for so long a time. It takes self-discipline. Without self-discipline, you cannot break any addiction. Without self-discipline, one cannot achieve any great thing in life. It takes self-discipline. And that is what your self-discipline tells them. It is the strongest form of self-love. It is the strongest form of self-care. I'm telling you. So stay on your grind and keep caring for yourself. If you love yourself, you will not be taking in intoxicants that will be harmful to your system, to your body. If you indeed love yourself, you will not be associating with the wrong people. It takes self-discipline to less associate with some people. It takes self-discipline for your life to improve. It takes self-discipline to build. It takes self-discipline to create. It takes self-discipline to stand tall for what you want, to stand your ground. It takes self-discipline. Show me a person who has achieved some level of success, and I will show you that this person has some level of self-discipline. I'm telling you, chosen people. So continue to really love yourself. It takes self-discipline to walk out of toxic relationships. It takes self-discipline to say, I respect myself. I know my self-worth. I deserve better. It takes self-discipline. Thank you, Roster, for confirming the message. It takes self-discipline, chosen ones. Yes. So continue to remain in your frame of self-discipline because it makes you exceptional. It makes you one of a kind. It really tells that yes, you are really confident in your own skin. You cherish yourself, you love yourself, and you are not giving in for temporary pleasures. It takes self-discipline to build something that will outlive you 100 years when you no longer live here on earth. It takes self-discipline to go in for such things. It takes self-discipline to choose your friends wisely. It takes self-discipline to pick a self-development book and read. It takes self-discipline to read. It takes self-discipline to learn, to unlearn, and to relearn. It takes self-discipline to do that. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching this video. See you in my next video. I'm out for now. Peace.